So the first thing about Fraktur is, and I'm only going to look at the minuscules in this video. I have obviously decided to take a break from the pointed pen work. So Fraktur is generally written at 6 nib widths. So a nib width is obviously the width of the nib as we touch the edges, just the corners. So I'm going to do it at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.5. Obviously because the 6 goes above there and I really want to stay between the lines. So I'm going to allow the lines to really help me. For those of you who don't know that much about calligraphy, this is your baseline. This is your X height. You have an ascender line and you have a descender line. Always leave enough space between the lines so that the line from above, the descenders from the line from above, do not interact with the ascenders from the line below. This is a common problem that I see on Instagram. I don't know if you guys are trying to save paper, but just remember you actually need space between the lines so that the ascenders and descenders don't interact, so that you can have space to correct your problems. Also, if the lines are too close, you can't really see what you're doing. So just be a little bit conscious about that. So I use something that I've developed for Textualis, which I'll do another video on that a little later on, that I call the trick. So I'll show you what the trick is. If you have an O in Textualis, you have to guess where to put this mark. So by using the tip of the tool and using that edge, you know that that is where this lozenge is going to go. So the downstroke goes next to it. So it's the same thing that I use for Fraktur. I would go 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just get enough ink on this tool. 1 and 2 and 3. So I take it all the way up to that corner. 4 and down and around. And you can see that beautiful shape closing itself off. You could also do this O. You really have to make sure that the tool is really well loaded with ink. All right, so there's your fractal alphabet. So I'm just gonna flip the camera around and take some questions. So still not perfectly well, but just trying to get some work done. So the thing about this fractal alphabet that I've just done for you is it is a true fractal. What do I mean by a true fractal? A lot of the fractal alphabets that you see on Instagram, that you currently see on Instagram, are not historical constructs. They are usually more contemporary fractal alphabets. And people tend to refer to them as black letter because they are not necessarily true fractal, or they might be a combination of Fraktur and Textualis Quadrata, or Fraktur and some Textualis semi-quadrata. So you really do need to be aware of what you're looking at, and what the alphabet looks like, and what the basic shapes are. As you can see, I don't have little hackles in the middle of my strokes. Let's just sort of flip this back. So what would a hackle in the middle of a stroke look like? So I don't, for instance, you won't see my Fraktur doing this. Because this is not a feature of historical Fraktur. This is a modern affectation that you will find in things like Textualis Quadrata. So when people do this kind of shape, and they go in and they put these shapes back in, these are obviously not historical. They are historical forms of decoration. They were just not used historically in the structure of the writing system. Equally, when you see this kind of thing, of course, this is not quadrata, this is semi-quadrata. So that's quadrata. So knowing the difference between them, so we have quadrata, we have semi-quadrata, we have Fraktur. Knowing the difference between the different types of Gothic alphabets, letter forms used in the Gothic period, is a better way to put it, really helps you to work on your aspect of study. So I'll do a couple posts on this. I'll do the majuscules maybe tomorrow, and then follow up with maybe looking at some fractal flourishing. Okay, hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.